This is the Carty Method Podcast.
You clicked on this not because you just want to get better, and not just better at making pictures, but you want to get hired for the pictures that you already make. You put the time into your work, but your website still isn't doing the job. Today I'm going to show you why and exactly what to change so it finally starts converting visitors into clients. Most photographers think that their website is just a portfolio, but that's the biggest mistake. Your website isn't just a gallery, it's your positioning, it's your pitch, it's your proof. It's the difference between getting ghosted after a visit and getting booked. The photographers who are thriving right now, they're not just making great work. They're also packaging that work to attract the exact kind of clients that they want. Today inside a Portfolio Lab, I'm revealing real websites from my Portfolio Lab members. If your site isn't built to speak directly to your market and make a clear case for why you're the right photographer, then I promise you are leaving money on the table. By the end of today's episode, you're gonna see exactly what to fix, what to remove, and what to prioritize to finally make your website work as hard as you do. In case you don't know me, by the way, I'm Carty. I've been a professional photographer for 34 years. I've shot global campaigns, I've shot magazine covers, I've shot celebrities, and I don't do paparazzi. I do sessions for magazines with celebrities. Work that requires more than just skill with a camera. It requires clarity and also a brand presence that clients can trust. And it starts with your website. So inside of Portfolio Lab, we go deep into packaging. Your work, your portfolio, your presentation, your positioning. Gerard, welcome back. Every other month, I do these full website reviews for photographers that are inside Portfolio Lab. And today, you're gonna watch me break down these real sites in real time. I'm gonna be pointing out what works, what confuses, and what flat out needs to go, okay? If you haven't submitted your website today, your site is not gonna be featured. But know this, even if your site isn't featured, this is your blueprint. Take notes and apply the lessons that you're about to learn. And then start building a website that doesn't just look good, it actually gets you hired. And today's episode is brought to you by the members of this channel. This is why we are doing commercial-free lives. And also today's website review show is brought to you by Pixpa. Pixpa is how I build my website. My website is powered by Pixpa. If you go to the link in the video description, just scroll down a bit, you'll see a 55% off offer if you sign up for a year of Pixpa. Pixpa is by far the best place to, I think, if you're a top creative, this is the place to build your site. Pixpa makes Squarespace look silly. It really does. It makes Wix and Adobe Portfolio and all of those other site builders really look silly. Again, there's an offer code inside the video description. Use that and get 55% off a whole year of photography. And also, by the way, client delivery. You don't have to have pick time or any of those stupid website like client delivery services. All your client delivery and client galleries are all neatly organized behind the back end in Pixpa. So that's what I use. That's what I suggest you use. So let's get into today's reviews. So first of all, you should also know that Thursday, I'm looking at your pro level assignments, and Thursday's pro level assignment for week 28 is a Converse campaign lead image. I'm going to be looking at your Converse images. I am asking for a horizontal, a double page spread, and it's due tomorrow, midnight. We'll be looking at them on Thursday. You now have 2 weeks to do your photo assignments. Today's Tuesday. I officially release the assignment on Thursday, but if you stay till the end of today's episode, I'll give you a preview on what your next assignment will be for week 30. All right? Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to show you what we'll call today the gold standard. My website, we're going to call the gold standard as far as what a professional photographer's website should look like. Notice there's no text. There's no what we call here. Let me show this because it's going to be big. And then let me take this away. Nice and small. There we go. Okay, so know this. Your website is your storefront, but it has to be industry standard. And your website is not about you. It's about your potential clients. So what you show above the fold is super, super important. I've had a website since 1996. 96, the invention of the internet, I had a website. And the website builder hand wrote code for me. Like, insane. Long before Dreamweaver or any of the web builders, blah, blah, blah. And then in 2000, I registered stevecarty.com. So I've had it for a very, very, very long time. And I change it pretty much. I change the look and feel of my site every year. It's been black, it's been white, but it's always been industry standard. I want you to notice a very simple dot matrix logo, my work, drop down, portfolio, tear sheets, personal work, video work, about me, my gear list, and contact. And of course, I have my social icons. Now, my images are big. And when you click a picture, it goes full screen. The next thing is that you use the arrow keys to navigate back and forward. Because once someone's on your site, you don't want them to have to be clicking they can click that way if they wish, or they can go over here and click this way if they wish. But art directors use the arrow keys. And also look how fast someone can go through my site. Look how quick the images load, and look how fast you can push. Also notice that there is a nice transition. There's a nice fade through my site. Also notice how the horizontal images are the same size and the vertical images are the same size. So there's no size jumps as you're going through my website. There's no size jumps. So that is important. Notice the height is always the same of my images. It's very jarring for an image to be small and then an image to be huge. So, and you can also click the X and that brings you back to here. There's also shares, like you can share any of my images just by clicking here, and it'll give you can share to Facebook, X, Pinterest, or you can share it on WhatsApp. You can copy a link to the image, but you can't right click the image. And you can see a copyright comes up if you try to right click the image. You also have the ability to go full screen, and full screen for an art director, they can just tap, boom, boom, boom. And you also have a slideshow, which you can just push play, and then the images just every 5 seconds roll as a slideshow. This is all functionality that's built into Pixpa. It's very, very, very good. And I've looked far and wide, and this is the one that I use. Okay, so we'll call this a gold standard. Now, video, what my video looks like. This is some selected video that are relevant to my photography clients. About me. It's a very strong full page. This is a portrait that was shot by another photographer of me. 34 years of idea execution. Also with the rollover, it actually enlarges me a little bit. You can see there's just a little bit of interactivity. And of course, credit, photographed by Nazca Demini. Testimonials. Social proof. I wish Google would allow 6 stars. Steve went above and beyond for this shoot, exceeded expectations on every level: quality of person, quality of photography, quality of experience. Testimonial. And more testimonials, more testimonials, more testimonials. Another example of my work, me shooting, book a free strategy session. Super easy to see and super easy, or email me for a quick reply. This is just in my about page. Photography has been my obsession for 40 years. Again, book a strategy session. And you notice how this picture enlarges and seems to grow towards you. So that's my about page. My contact page, again, very important, super friendly. You can see how I'm getting bigger and pushing out towards you. Email me, my digits, a form if that's what they prefer. There's a form here, but I also give the email above the fold. And again, book a free strategy session. So your website has to hit a couple of markers. It really has to hit that way. Let's get into today's photo review, or today's website reviews. I'm so used to saying photo reviews. Today's website review. And the first photographer is Victor Liska. Victor, let us have a look at what Mr. Victor Liska is doing. Victor, thanks for submitting your site. I appreciate this. So, beauty in every detail. Commercial photography in Austria. So, endless possibilities. I feel like you're trying to do too many things in one site, Victor. The exposure on the picture of you is under. I think this is too much on a first page. Okay? Like, I think that you're treating your site like just like a one-page site, and it's this infinite scroll, and it's not at all industry standard format. Okay? Industry standard format is you lead with your photography. And also, you're shooting everything. You're trying to be a portrait photographer, a places photographer, and a product photographer, which we've talked about. Pick a lane, and you're not in a lane here. You have strong photography, but who are you marketing to? You're the people who you want to shoot. People are different than the people for places, and different, like, you're trying to like be a blanket instead of a spear. And whether you're getting, and again, Victor, you're a really good photographer, like really good, but you have to decide what kind of a photographer you are. Because, and also your website should start like this. It should start like this. Like, this is your website here. Like, but understand that the people who you're going to serve with this work are very different than the people who you're trying to serve as a portrait photographer, and the people you're trying to serve as a product photographer. And again, you shoot these things well, but it's impossible to get known as the jack of all trades guy. And that's really, irregardless of to how high the level is, you're still trying to be everything to everybody. So, and then the product photography. So, Victor, I'm really trying to get you in my accelerator the next round. The work is very good, but you have yet to choose who you are. And because of that, you're trying to do, like, you're just trying to market to people who need photography. And I can do anything for you. So how, like, that weakens your push. The reason that I've gotten as far as I am, Raphael's saying, should he make separate sites? No, he should not do all three. It's simple. You can't do all three. You can't market yourself to everybody, because again, it's just you end up serving no one. So he has to decide. And again, I'm going to say, Victor, you have to decide who you are as a photographer, who you are. Are you a lifestyle photographer? Are you a product photographer? Are you an automotive motorcycle? Like, are you a things photographer? Like, you can't, this is just everything that I've ever done. And again, I'm going to remind you, you're a great shooter, but you're doing too much. This goes against the rules of how to penetrate. You just can't do this. And also, there's no need for references. Like these, like references, this is this your work in the world? If this is work that you shot, these are called tear sheets. These are called tear sheets. So, and again, you have so many of them that they become, it just looks like a scrapbook. They need to be bigger and more focused. So, Victor, my recommendation for you is you have to become the tip of a spear. You have to become the tip of a spear. You are trying to be like 12 different people here. So again, my suggestion, the site is good, but it's not industry standard. You're trying to be a blanket instead of the tip of a spear. I hope that helps you, Victor. Very, very good swing, guys. This is Victor Liska. I got to speed it up because there are a lot of sites that I got to look at today. Victor, thanks for submitting. This is William Sedgwick. William, thank you for submitting. The first thing that I'm saying is that you're showing too many pictures across. Okay, your images are too small. They need to be like, look at, again, use my site as the gold standard and look at how many I show across. Look at how many I show across. I show 3. So when you're showing this many across, and it's also about what you're leading with. Are you leading with your strongest work? And are we seeing your strongest work first? And you have a lot of shots of your boy. Picture. Yeah. Picture. There's a lot of pictures of your son. So you're going to have to, again, we've talked about this at length. William, you're a talented shooter, but your site, we have to adjust the sequencing. We have to choose what the best 4 shots of your boy are and include only them. And a little bit of sequencing. Let's work on getting your site to fill the entire space here instead of being contained. Use the entire width. And again, look at how I'm using the entire width, and the distance here is the same as the distance in between my photos, and how I'm not wasting any space in here. So be very disciplined when it comes to your space. Your name is too small, okay? And it goes about first and then contact. I feel like this entire thing can be black. You feel just a little bit awkward in here, the way that you're holding your arm with the camera. I know that that's a William-ism because you've showed me that a couple of times. This text should run like this. It shouldn't be centered. It should run and mirror what's happening up here. The center down here doesn't make any sense. And again, this should be black, and this down here should be black, and the photo should be bigger. And again, give me another option other than a form, like email address. What city are you in? Like, this is the other thing. William, I have no idea where you are. What city are you in? That's what I need to know. And again, what if I click contact first before about me? If I click contact first, it's not saying what city that you're in. Southwest Florida. And also you can see the spacing here. There's way too much headroom, there's way too much buffer, and you're way down here on the bottom, right? So the height of this page, it should be there, not down here. So this is all stuff that you can fix in your settings. This part's great. Again, just the placement of that button, you can be really disciplined as to where you're placing that. I feel like this should just be a plain shirt. This doesn't need to be a logo shirt, so I can focus more on here, not Postiano, Italy. This t-shirt that could be some free shirt that you got when you went there or whatever. Like, it's just, don't make me think of that stuff. Just if white is your brand, just wear a white t-shirt. Okay. Spatially, this is really bad. Spatially, like love from customers, and there's only one. So where's the rest? It's love from customer. Do you know what I mean? So save until you have more than one, and then use the whole space. And then follow me on Instagram, and this super microscopic Will vision, like this is not good, Will. This page is not good. So we need to fix this, and again, fix that. Look at how I don't actually have a footer because all the information is up here. So again, even when you're on my contact page, I don't have a footer because it fucks with my design. I just have something very much down here when you get to the very, very bottom, and you notice it's not aligned or stacked center. So again, that's another consideration. Will, and your gear list, let's see how you're laying out this page. You have to use space, Will. It can't be a box and then a white bar and a white bar, and then equipment inventory. It's got to be like you're not a store. It's got to sound sexier than that. And yeah, and just lay it out nicer, and like align left. You're aligning this left, but then you're centering that text and centering that. You have to notice that this text looks off. I need you to notice that this text looks off and fix it. Still have questions, doesn't need to be there when they're on your gear list. And then book a session. People aren't going to go straight to booking a session with you. They have to book a conversation with you. Book a conversation. Booking a session, I'm not doing that until I talk to you. So what you want to do is talk to me. So talk to me. That's what we're trying to get first. I hope that helps you. That was William Sedgwick, everybody. William, thanks for submitting. All right, that is Mr. William Sedgwick. Next on the list is Natalie Bennett. Natalie. All right. So right off the top, Natalie, this I can't read that. I can't read that. I won't read that. It's frustratingly bad. It's frustratingly bad design. Photography by Natalia / you have to put space. Like, this is just no. What is your name? Your name is Natalie or Natalia, if that's what you want to go by, Murdoch. So if that's your name, that's what it should say. Notice what everyone else's should say. No one is reading this text, and it's starting off confusing. The pictures and the no spacing between the pictures makes us feel a little bit claustrophobic. And the only verticals and no horizontals makes your grid feel weird. Like it's just vertical. This is okay. This is a great shoot. Less thrilled about this one. I feel like this is sloppy, it's slanted, and it's not the right model, and blah blah blah. I'm not trying to get into a photo review here. This is better, but it's underexposed, Natalie. This is okay, but it's too contrasty and it doesn't have enough kick back in here. So I'm just seeing her face here and kind of losing the rest of the image. So Natalie, I'm not using this to do photo reviews. That's not what we're here for. There's some serious mistakes that you're making still with your framing. How does this full length work as an 8x10? Like, how does this full length work as an 8x10 when an 8x10 looks like that? I've talked about this every episode. An 8x10 looks like that. So you're now gonna lose his shoes. So it's like this kind, like I can't get into this stuff so far down the line with you because I talk about this stuff all the time, every single photo review show. So for me, there's, and then here on work. So this is not following the format at all. Like I'm thinking when I'm here, like that this is your site, like just this. But then there's more. And yeah, Natalie, I'm sorry. This is Natalie Bennett. Natalie Bennett, not Natalie Murdoch. My mistake. Sorry, Natalie's. I have two Natalies. There's Natalie Bennett, Natalie Murdoch. Got it. Natalie, this is not following the format. This is not following the format at all. You're doing a one-page site. There's work that's down here that should be above the fold. Like, I feel like you're not like your site should start like here. This is what it should look like. But what is this up here? And then your name and not using your last name and how you're trying to use your site title here in your, anyways, Natalie, this is just a little bit wrong. I feel like you're not watching my content and not listening to the things that I talk about. This is not the format at all that we're trying to get to. I don't want to spend too much time on this, Natalie, because again, your about here link doesn't work. You're trying to do a one-page website and that's not, I just don't think that it works. It's not what I've demonstrated works. It's not what the industry standard is. It's not what the industry standard is. So for me, that one's just a bit of a miss. I think you got to do some work on this, Natalie. Thanks for submitting. Again, I'm sorry I got the Natalies mixed up, Natalie Bennett and Natalie Murdoch, but that needs this needs a whole rethinking, everything. You're going to have to rebuild this one with a new template, Natalie. Okay. All right. This is Torrance Davis. Torrance Davis. Thanks for submitting, Torrance. Okay, Torrance. So again, we got to use the whole full side this way and this way. This is not black. This is black. This is gray. So you see this gray and this black, they don't match. So that's like distracting. And then this being centered and this Torrance Davis not being here and then the gallery being over here, like that again is, it makes it feel too center heavy. I see vertical, 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 vertical. Like use above the fold to show also that you can shoot horizontal. The having this picture in here doesn't make sense with with then a girl in lingerie. Like I'm questioning the sequencing and what pictures you're showing. Like if you're a portrait photographer, then just show portraits, and this doesn't fit that much. Do you know what I mean? This picture of her, use this picture, but her in her underwear doesn't make sense with the kind of clients that you're trying to attract. This also doesn't make sense with the kind of clients that you're trying to attract. And also this doesn't make sense. Like these are your strongest images. You need to make more of your strongest images and decide who your audience is, who it is that you're speaking to. I'm looking at gallery and then I'm looking at sessions. This doesn't make sense. And the layout of this and the overlays and everything doesn't make sense. If this is work, go through this work, pick the best of it and include it in your portfolio. But it doesn't make any sense at all as relation to you getting work. This isn't going to get you work, these pictures of you fishing. Like, it has nothing to do with the type of work that I think that you're trying to do. So don't show them. Even in your personal work, this whole sessions thing doesn't need to be here. Gallery is called portfolio. Gallery sounds amateur. It's a portfolio. So I think for you, Torrance, like, you need to know who you're speaking to. I don't think that you know who you're speaking to yet. And then your linking format, your web builder is now, are you making money when people now sign up? You're getting affiliate sales on that click. You need to take that away. This whole session section doesn't need to be here. If there's good work here, take the best of that work and put it here. And again, always ask yourself, who would hire me to make these photos when it comes to all the stuff that you're showing within your portfolio. You have to be a tip of a spear. Torrance. Guys, that's Torrance Davis. Torrance, thanks for submitting. Whew, this is exhausting looking through all of these websites. Kyle Gagne is back. Kyle, thanks for submitting, my guy. Okay, Kyle, so again, we need to be using, you're going to hear me saying this a lot. You need to be using the entire real estate that you have. Because, again, how many times are we going to hear, well, it doesn't look like that on my computer. It's like, bro, you're not making your website for your computer. You're making your website for my computer and the art director's computer and computers that you don't know what they look like. Why does that look so dark? Why does that exposure look so dark? 1 second here. Why am I so dark today? Apologies. Sorry, give me a second. There's lots of buttons over here. ISO 500. Why does that look so dark? Very weird my presentation looks here today. How's this camera look? That also looks dark. Weird. Let's bump this light up a bit. Hang on. Just going to turn this light up a bit because, you know, I want to make this experience good for you as well. So before I get into Kyle's site, I'm just going to bump this exposure. Yeah, it should be no reason why that looks so odd. Still, this looks too contrasty, personally, this shot. All right. Okay, Kyle Gagne. The work has always been good from you, Kyle. There's never been a stress about the quality of work. I just want to see it a little bit bigger. And also, when we're looking at this work, you can see now like what fits and what doesn't fit. What doesn't fit is this portrait, right? What doesn't fit is this picture of your daughter. Like it's just that like what doesn't fit is this picture here. Unless we're trying to like, it's the rubber boots that we're trying to sell like that. Like always it's about who is my ideal customer and what type of a photographer am I trying to be. And the more I dive into your portfolio, the more I'm seeing it as a vehicle for you to showcase photos that you've shot of your kids. So I'm trying to help you work, and you have to understand that SanDisk, like the brands that are going to hire you for this, like if you show them in the same portfolio this picture, it's now like, yeah, you're just scrapbooking. You're talented, but what, like, so it's about knowing what to, like, Yeti, huge product brand, And like you have really powerful like lifestyle and product based images, but you have to go very easy with the light, because this type of a lifestyle picture is so much different than this picture. You know what I mean? Which is kind of overexposed and like a moment with a man and his daughter. Like, I don't see that as much as product based. I see this amazing product based photo, but then you're countering it and like with this. So for me, Kyle, like, have another personal site to show your kids, and if you're trying to build a body of work where your kids can be a part of it, you have to develop that on another site, because the amount of high impact work that you have here that is getting lost by the stuff that you're choosing to include next to it is really like, you have to let go of photos. People don't miss them. And it's because you have emotional attachment to photos that you're including images in this collection that shouldn't be here. So again, Kyle, are you a location-based product photographer, or are you a kids photographer? Because those two don't really meet. You need to decide what kind of a photographer that you are, and then only show that work. Because for me, you're so much stronger like this type of a photographer is what I've like, you're an outdoor adventure lifestyle photographer. But I feel like it gets confusing, and I know you're showing like your kid and he's wearing this outfit, and like I see kinda how you're trying to make it fit, but I'm not sure it does yet. But Kyle, I'm so glad that you're back. I'm glad that you're submitting again, and again, I'd like to have you in my accelerator so I could actually help you turn this body of work into work. Starts with the tuning. Let's look at your About Me page. Again, let's offset this picture. So this picture is down here, and then the text goes here. So we're utilizing this entire space better. And yes, I know once you're, like maybe it goes, and if you're looking at it on a phone, you can see also how small that image is going to look like when you're on a phone. So you have to imagine all the different screen sizes. And for me, when I'm looking at it on a 32-inch 4K, yeah, you have to kind of imagine. And when I'm testing a website, I look at it on my iPad, I look at it on my phone, I look at it on 32-inch monitor, 27-inch monitor, and a laptop. You got to look at it on all different formats. Okay. That is Kyle Gagne. I have a hard time saying Gagne. Thanks, Kyle, for submitting. Appreciate you. All right, that is Kyle. So let's close a couple windows and get into our next. This is Alexander Klasnia. Alexander, I think I've seen this site before. There's definitely some, like, Alexander, this site, you just haven't worked on it in a while. It's exactly the same as the last time I looked at it. There's so many different things that, like, the images are square, but the images aren't square. That's a horizontal. So why not show it as a horizontal here instead of what looks like an Instagram profile? For me, you are wasting so much real estate here, like, you're just wasting real estate. This is not an industry standard site. I've talked about this site. I've looked at this site. I need you to update it and because you make good work, but you're showcasing it in such a poor way that it makes me not want to look at the work. This is an 8x10. It's supposed to be an 8x12, and then this is an 8x12. So and then this is an 8x10. Like, you're also jumping around with your proportions and your image sizing. Like, there's too many things wrong here, Alexander, and I've talked about this in our one-on-one meetings. You've booked me for one-on-ones, and then the things that I've talked to you about, you haven't changed them. So I need you to make those changes, and then let me review that site. This site is just so far out from what all of my content has talked about, all of the, like, yeah. And then I told you 2 months ago, like this, you need to change your site. It's not industry standard. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. And then it looks exactly the same. So it's like, if you're not going to make the changes to your site when I give you the advice, then like, I'm not going to just like, I'm not doing this for fun. I'm doing this for you. So Alex, you need to update your site, change it, leave this platform that you're on. I'm almost 100% sure it's not Pixpa. And yeah, it's just old, outdated web design that you need a complete refresh before I'm going to go and spend any time doing a review on this, Alex. All right, Alex, thanks for submitting. That's Alex. Alex, you need to give me like a fix. Do me like a fix, okay? And just so you guys know, my new accelerator starts again in September. Okay, I'm in week 5 of my current accelerator with the accelerator members. We're about to go into week 6 starting on Saturday, and then I give them 12 weeks of support, meaning the first 6 weeks they get phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 with support every weekend. And then we jump into the difference between people who are just in Portfolio Lab and people who are in Portfolio Lab and my accelerator. It's just, there's such a gap in understanding, and I'm just trying to nudge you guys. Phase 0 is on my site. I'm going to show you. Just go to the cartymethod.com. thecartymethod.com. I'm going to link you here. Go to the cartymethod.com and just go here and click the system. And then phase 0 is the application. Okay. And phase 0 is right here. All you need to do, start with phase 0, because you can buy my system on your own and do this on your own. But phase 0 is what I use as the application for my accelerator. So my accelerator starts in September. I give this out for free to applicants 2 weeks before deadline, 2 weeks before. But I'm telling you about this 2 months before. So you could start working on this now and get yourself in Portfolio Lab. So by September, you're ready to actually get accepted. We don't accept everybody. By the way, not everyone's ready for me. Not everyone's ready for the level of intensity. And phase 0 kind of shows you what your future is like with me as a coach. And it costs $49 or $47. So go buy that and get yourself on track. I'll give it to you free if you can wait 2 months, but it's smarter to get it now. All right, that's for those who are trying to apply to my accelerator. Go to thecartymethod.com/accelerator, and you can also see that right up here. Just go to accelerator and put yourself on the wait list. Just join the wait list. Just go in here, email, and then actually answer the questions that I ask you. Actually answer the questions that I ask you in this, so we can get you hooked up. All right, that is Accelerator Talk. This is Allison Dilla. Allison, speaking of accelerator members, Allison is in my new round of my accelerator. Allison's been listening diligently. Allison, you've gone a little too far with your spacing up here now, and you can see your rollover is actually at the top of my screen. I can't pull this down anymore. So you need to give yourself a little bit of buff. If you look at what I'm doing, you can see I give myself a little bit of buff. I give myself a little bit of buff, just a little bit of spacing here so people can see your your nice rollovers. This is just a little bit tight. 4 across. I would like to see 3. I'd like to see 3, but 4 does work. As far as sequencing these 2 images, these 2 images, this and this, I think that they don't need to be so close to each other. So it's just about working the sequencing, and also obviously just having a little bit more work. You're still developing that work. I'm helping you with it. I don't think this hits, but I know that these are holder images. I know that these are holder images. You're not quite there with your final images. So spacing here and spacing on the side, yes, you have that 100%. It's just this now, giving yourself just a little bit more breathing room. And I think that you could afford to make Alison Diller just even a little bit higher. If you force that bigger, it'll make this have a little bit more space. But this is really good, Allison, as far as your swing. And again, you've instructed me that these are holder pages. With this, I'm almost feeling like spatially you need to get a full screen or full size picture. I'm doing 3Ls for the impact. You need a full size picture, and then text over top of the picture, which means a horizontal. If you look here, I do it in a couple of different places. I do it here where I'm giving you a full size picture and then text over top. So this hits better and it uses the space way better, because you can, and then even here I'm trying to go really big with this picture. We can look here. I'm not sure if you're going big enough. It might even be the same size, who knows? But again, I'm trying to use a little bit more of like the top and bottom space here. Big here. Yeah, let's go back to Ali. So yeah, it's just, and I feel like this sits a little high because our frame is so tight here. I think that we could push this down just a little bit. You could make this editorial portrait photographer working with rugged individuals. We need to fix the language. This language we need to nail. I'm going to help you with this when we do our meeting. I think we have a meeting later on today. So yeah, I'm going to help you with that. You have to stress about that. Let's see your contact page. This is, I love this. We talked about you reshooting this. I think you need to reshoot this. And then just the way that this text works on top of the brick, it doesn't work on top of the brick very well. Again, you said that you're going to reshoot this and change this image up. This I feel like needs to use the full top and bottom, and then the stacking that's happened here, I feel like again we can do that on the bottom there, but we're closer. We are closer. This is Allison Dilla. Allison, well done, Allison. Well done, Allison. Well done, Allison. Let's go. Thanks for submitting. Allison Dilla. This is Natalie Murdoch. All right, Natalie's from Salt Lake City. Let's see what Natalie's guanin'. All right, Natalie. So we need some horizontals. We need horizontals because you're only shooting vertical. We do have some more pictures here than I've seen before, but I think in order to mix up your grid, we just need, like, just looks like you can only shoot one way. So prove that you actually can shoot horizontal and mix that in. It just gives you, it gives your work a dynamic. It just gives your work a dynamic when you mix in horizontals with your vertical. And if you look at my grid and how often you see horizontals mixed in, I just need you to kind of merge that in a little bit more. Because again, horizontals, when used right, they really, really have impact on a portfolio. So I want you to be thinking about that. I don't mind the black background. Your name needs to be bigger. This needs to be bigger, like monumentally bigger, like by a lot.
Let's see your drop down. We don't have any other categories, so we don't really need that as a drop down. About section, you can see we don't need about Natalie Murdoch because I just clicked that and it says Natalie Murdoch right there. So I just need this picture to be higher and there to be text that punches in right here. So scrolling, I'm seeing that text comes in way low and this is so small. It's like it's not making it easy for me to read. So your picture is actually too big and that's throwing your whole thing off. So we don't need that. We need to move this up. The size of this should be what is up here, Natalie. Like that size should be up there. And but I'm so happy that you were making a push. And also this down here again, super simple and blah 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 blah. Copyright information, copyright Natalie Murdoch 2025. Contact information, another, like this, book a free consultation on top of this. Like booking a free consultation is more important, so I would make that a full page image of yours and then book a free consultation, and then below the fold you can have that form. But these two buttons next to each other are super confusing, and text spatially, this just doesn't look like you're giving me anything. It looks too templatey, too, it's not, this isn't put together right. You're also using color in your role, in your, what are these called? Social icons. I would consider just making them white. And then they're white down here. That's how they should be, but then their color up there. So change that. Okay, guys, that's Natalie Murdoch. I'm glitching. Did you guys just stop typing in chat? All of a sudden, you guys lost me. So many people stopped watching. Holy moly. Did I get that boring, or did my stream disconnect? Did I get that boring? Holy moly. Usually I have... the viewers fell off a cliff. What happened there? There was 60 people watching and now there's 17. I'm not playing commercials. There's no ads. Like, what's going on here? All right. I guess people tuned in, and once they saw that I wasn't looking at photos, they're just like, yeah, I don't care about websites. But that's fine. All right, let's look at Kyle Kiono. Kyle. Yeah, this is not an industry standard site, Kyle. Like, this is in fact so far from what we're trying to do here. It's almost like you're not listening. Your logo, would we agree that that's too big? Would we agree that that's too big? Would we agree that that's an odd place for that? Like, there is no example of this design that I've given you anywhere. And the fact that there's like a white line on the edge of like two sides of your photo, like, I don't know, like that means like in your sizing, how you sized your images, they are off registration. You can see they're off registration. And you can see this is off registration because there's not supposed to be a border. It's supposed to look like that, but this is on every picture. So whatever you did here, you have to undo that. So, all right. Whatever you're doing there, you kind of have to undo. So, yeah, Kyle. And again, you're only using 2 across. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what's going on here. The gray background as the choice, just making your grays look grayer. Websites are white or black. You know what I mean? It's like you can choose to use another color, but you're not doing it right. So for me, this is so bad as far as packaging and so off what, like, if this is the gold standard, if my site's the gold standard, you have to try to make your site closer to this. And for me, Kyle, like this is not it. This is not it. You need to go directly back to the drawing board and start all over again. You're making this with Pixpa. You're making Pixpa look bad by making a site like this. That's only like, so Kyle, you have to go back to everything that I've ever talked about on web and build your website that looks like that. Mixing the Coca-Cola with the people in the way that you're doing is, yeah, this isn't right, Kyle. We gotta have to do that again. Okay, let's revisit this and give me a full rejig of what you're doing here. All right, that is Kyle Kiono. This is Ross Barberi. Ross. So we need to change it from Ross Makes Pictures to Ross Barberi. Like, Ross Makes Pictures sounds hokey. And let's elevate you into Ross. Like, what if my brand was Carty Makes Photos? Do you think Carty Makes Photos would get the opportunity to shoot Pharrell and Kanye and blah, blah, blah? Or just Steve Carty? You know, like, so that's your brand. And your brand is so important. And handling your brand the right way is so important. You're also using like a mobile style menu even on your full screen, your full size site. So for me, this also like doesn't hit. As far as your focus on food and drink, yes. We just need to keep shooting so we can get the level of the work better and your exposure better and some of your ideas better. This is a great image. It's a great leading image. The rest of your pictures have to be as strong. Cropping the bottle this way is a no-no. Your crop, like, I don't want to get so much into the photo review, but your post-production on this is not it. And you just don't crop wine bottles like this. It's just not a thing. If you're going to shoot the label, you have to punch in way more in order to shoot the label and just shoot the label. So the two things that are bothering me is this mobile navigation that I also have to deal with, which is super clunky, slow, and big when I'm dealing with not being on my phone. My site, when you're on a full site, you get the full, but when you now are on a small site, then the sandwich menu pops up because that's how you have to use it when you're on your phone. But when you're not on your phone, I actually give you the menu back. So it's much cleaner and nicer to navigate than what you have going on here, Ross. It makes your header just look really blank. And if people don't click this, then they're just going to do this and then they're going to leave. Like, that's really just it. So you're not giving, and if you're only going to show one social icon, just your Instagram, you might as well not show any. Instagram, LinkedIn, Substack, the main Behance is another, like the main ones, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Substack, Behance. You can't just have Instagram. And you have to pull more levers than just one other social media platform. You got to be using LinkedIn, and you got to be showing that you use LinkedIn. So even if people aren't booking you today, they're connecting with you on LinkedIn so you can market to them with content. All right, guys, that is Ross Barberi. Ross Makes Pictures. Thanks for submitting, Ross. Yeah, Barberi. Your Barberi is so better as a last name than Ross Makes Photos. Just be Ross Barberi. Barbieri, if that's how it is. Barbieri, or is it Barberi? All right, this is Joshua Haney. Joshua, let's see what Josh has got for me. Josh, this is really clean. What I'd like it to be, this is something that you all have to lock in. It's not Steve Carty Photography. It's Steve Carty Photographer. Okay? I'm a photographer. So don't say Joshua Haney Photography, because that is speaking to moms and grandmas and those people. You're a photographer. People don't search photography. They search photographer. Okay? So I am an editorial portrait photographer. Although I do editorial portrait, I don't call it editorial. I do editorial portrait photography. No, I shoot editorial portraits. So photography, hobbyist, amateur, photographer is what we are. Okay? That distinction is the difference between you speaking to founders and you speaking to grandmothers. Okay? You are a photographer. You're not offering photography. Okay? That language right there, Josh, I love the handwritten branding, but this needs to say photographer, or it needs to say nothing, because I'm here. I assume I'm looking at a photographer site because it's in your heading. So even I'm not Carty Photographer, just Carty. Do you know what I mean? So you don't need to even attach the photography or photographer. And Darrell Scott right there. It's Darrell Scott Photography. He has it here in his YouTube. Photographer, by the way. And just Darrell Scott. So Joshua, I like the selection. The 4 across makes your horizontals have less impact. But I do like seeing these thumbnails underneath when I click a picture. And it's nice to see that Pixpa gives you that as an option. My vibe is I want to see this site end at 3. And you probably have it set to go for 3. It's probably set to look like this. But when you're on a 4K monitor, it gives you an extra row. So, I do like this. I love your opening. I also love how this goes as a bit of a rollover, but you have to also note that when that rollover happens, it does make it a little bit harder to see your stuff. How I combat that is I keep my rollover a solid color and the same color as my site, so there's no legibility issues when people are scrolling. So I do have the rollover, but rather than making that transparent, I just keep it my site color. So that's something that you can consider here, Joshua. Just keep it black so it's not transparent. I really like this. This is, for me, one of the closest to being spot on sites that I've seen today. One of the closest. Again, Josh, really good use of space here. Good use of space. This could be bigger. I would like your name should be bigger. But again, it's just like, hey, I'm Joshua. Yeah, just reverse the sizes on these. Email me. Yes. Some social proof. Just try to collect a little bit more social proof, but I'm really glad that you're using Senja. And there's a way to hide that you're collecting testimonials with Senja, so it just shows these without showing the collected by that, you know. Again, I pay for the pro account. That's something that I have down here, and you can see all of my testimonials, and at the bottom there is no collected by Senja. You can just like turn it off. So this is a really, really good swing for me. This is a really good swing for me, Joshua. This is really one of the closest. This font in here starts to get a little bit hard to read Like, this is not really legible. So fix how that is looking. And I would consider, rather than making yourself look like a wildlife photographer, because this scene, this setting, and this everything does not look like the guy who's shooting this, or does not look like the guy who's shooting that, or does not look like the guy who's shooting this. So make your contact page and this picture be a little like you in the studio shooting, you with some light stands, and not like you're outside shooting butterflies. Okay. I hope that helps you. This is Joshua Haney. All right. Very well done. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate you. All right. That is Mr. Joshua Haney. This is Gary Rishi. Gary. Spatially. There's too much space here, and there's not enough space in between your photos. That looks like it's like 1 pixel. I have a dark underexposed picture first, and then I have another dark, and then so horizontal, vertical. I don't feel like you're using, yeah, I feel like there's more work, Gary. I feel like there's more work. I want to see work. You have your like, I want to see more work, bro. And then your services, social media, marriage proposals, boudoir, and New York City tours. I don't think that this is enough of a photography site because I'm only seeing 12 photos. Like, this needs to be driven by photography. Your name here is so dominant. It's more dominant than what I'm seeing down here. What I'm seeing below the fold, this needs to be a little bit more understated. And over here, and GT Rishi, your name is Gary. So be Gary. Am I supposed to call you GT? Like, so again, you're trying to make this easy for customers. Easy. For, like, don't be your business name, or don't be your magazine name. That's your magazine name, right? So why is your website your magazine name? So Gary, this is, for me, hasn't changed since the last time I looked at it, which was a long time ago. It's powered by SmugMug, and it's not cutting it. Where you're trying to go, I'm hoping, is in the top 1% of the top 1%. So I'm hoping that you're going to upgrade what builder. Let's go, Devanshu. Welcome. I'm hoping that you're updating what builder that you're using so your site can be more industry standard. Right now, this is not hitting it. This is Gary Rishi. And Gary, be Gary Rishi. Don't be GT. Because be Gary Rishi. That, I think, is what we need to, that's like our next goal for you, mister, is for you to be Gary Rishi. All right, let's get that changed immediately. Okay, I have to do this quickly. Give me uno secondo. The screen's gonna go black. 2 seconds. And we're back. All right. So that was Gary Rishi. Now, we have some new digital tools that we are developing. We have a new professional photographer's about page template. It's not released yet, but again, if this is something that you guys are interested in, I have what Garan made this. This is basically a professional photographer's about page template. We're thinking about releasing this where we talk about how to do an opening hook, how to really grab people with what you're writing, your professional background, your specialty and expertise. And of course, we give you examples. Like, we've basically templated out what your about page should look like. We're thinking about making this something that's either we give away, if we're probably going to give it away for like first, and then consider maybe making it like a product if people really freak out over it. So do let me know if that's something that you're interested in, and we'll put that together. All right. So where are we now? We are at Mr. Mike Morrison. Oh, you know what? I think I want to gift some memberships. I said that I was going to gift some memberships today. I don't know what happened with like my stats. This is what happened with my stats. I'm going to show you guys. So I was like freaking out. Like, what went wrong? I had 60 people watching me. Okay, there's 60 people watching. 60. Look. And then it dropped down to like 17. And then it went down to 3. And then I'm now back up to not 60. I'm back up to there's 37 people. So I don't know what happened, but all over a sudden, a whole bunch of people just fell off as if like I went offline or something. But yeah. I promised I was going to gift some memberships. Usually I force you guys to hit the like button or something. You're showing 51. Thank you, Courtney. How many likes do we have on this stream right now, Courtney? I'm trying to gauge how many likes we have. I usually like to make you do something. YouTube is having some issues today. We got 34. Okay, tell you what. If you guys can get me to 40 likes, if you can get me to 40 likes, I'm going to push a single button, and that's going to gift. It's going to gift memberships to 5 random people who are watching me. So I'll just ask you to tell me when I have 40 likes. And again, if you haven't hit the like button, it's just a little cue for you to do that right now. And then when I get like noted that when someone tells me, Carty, you got 40, I'm going to push this button and that's going to unlock it. All right. Mike Morrison Auto Photography. Okay, Mike, this loving you using a GIF here. This is a yes. This is a yes. I'm not sure if you fit in here. This is more your about page image, Mike, than it is an image that should be here per se. Same thing. This image does not belong here. But the collection that you're showing me is good. We might need a little bit of an edit, and definitely we need sequencing. The portraits, you are an automotive photographer. The portraits don't make sense. Make it all about cars. Use this place to have this picture of you, which then you know you don't need to have it here. You don't need to have it here because I'm going to see that once I learn about you. Don't like spoil the surprise. You're spoiling the surprise and you're diluting that by doing that. And then here, you're doing a drop down from a portfolio into a portfolio. So this should say work. And then if you're going to do further categories, amazing. Your Morrison Auto Photography logo looks like absolute garbage, Mike. Like that is not how like I can see where you tried to like clean up the white. This lowers the whole value of your entire site, like by a lot. And also, why a logo? And why not Mike Morrison? Like every other photographer does. Like, why do you have to have a logo here? Like, just this doesn't get centered. It gets left justified. Just like this is left justified, don't then center your heading. So this needs to be justified, like left justified there. And then this needs to be either justified there or justified there in order to make this match. Let's see what's down here. This PPA, sure, put down that down here. These logo go here, and then Mike Morrison, this goes over here. And the copyright symbol is on a Mac is Option G, is the actual copyright symbol. Option G, not bracket C and then bracket Mike, like what you have down here. That's not the copyright symbol. So yeah, we just gotta like fix this, because yeah, it's just on a Mac. Option G gives you the copyright symbol. So if I was to bring a nice empty note over here, bring a nice empty note over here and do Option G, you see that is the copyright symbol. And then make it a heading or a title. I can't really make it any bigger, but you can see there, that's the copyright symbol. That's how. And if you're on a PC, I can't help you. All right, Mike, your contact page. Let's look at what this looks like. Your contact page, the way that the font is like this is obnoxiously big, like you're talking to a grandmother who can't read. And then this is like really too small. So we got to nail and dial in and again, reinforce. I like that you're reinforcing images, but this collage and with all of these pictures touching each other, it kind of just feels like a bit of a jumble. So choose one photo, because I can go back here and look at your portfolio and see all those photos, Mike. I don't need to see them again here. Just pick one, okay? And make this like it has to line up a little bit bigger, a little bit better. I think your categories here are a little big in size, like a little big. And then this should not be a centered list. This should be like justified left or right. We don't do text like this. We do not do text like this. Gear list. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. In sections, justified, one side. So this is how text has to appear. Imagine a newspaper. Imagine if a newspaper center justified all of their writing. Because when you start your line, you want the line to start in the same spot, the next one, especially when it's a listicle. You want the next one to start in the next. So when it doesn't, I'm going here, then I'm going here, then I'm going here, then I'm going here, then I'm going here. Like all of this makes people leave. And just visually, when you look at text that goes like this, it's just, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, don't do that. Open a magazine and look at what a column looks like. It's registered all to the left. So why are you making columns that are centered? So we have to leverage layout and design and use that on our site. Mike, 2 huge mistakes. How you're laying out your text here and your logo. This logo is a mess. Please just have a super sharp, just have a super sharp Mike Morrison. It's so much cleaner. It's so much cleaner. And I feel like not doing that, this is jagged because it's from a lower res JPEG. So look at how jagged and messy that looks. It's lowering your value. Don't do that. Okay? That's Mike Morrison, guys. Thanks for submitting, Mike. All right. Next on the docket, Mats Carlson. Mats, let's see what you got going on. I like your font choice, Matt. It's nice. This, I feel like, doesn't need to be centered. You could push that a little bit over this way. Is this... I'm seeing personal work. Okay, so
the only way for me to get back to your main work is for me to click your name. So if you're make this work and then have like editorial portraits and then underneath have personal work. So it's actually set up in such a way where work, main portfolio, personal work. And you can, but you have it in such a way that I have to, if I click here, well, now I'm in personal work, but then how do I go back to the other work? How do I go back? And what if I didn't know that clicking your name brings me back to your main site? So that's something that you need to fix. I like the collection. There's a bunch of work here that you've made that's new that I haven't seen that I want to have on my photo review show, like this and like this and like this. There's some stuff here that I wouldn't mind seeing. These two pictures can't be on top of each other. It's the same girl in the same dress on top. So work your sequencing. And I know the sequencing changes when, like, depending on how this is, and maybe now it doesn't look like she's right on top of each other when it's like that. But what that means is you have to move this way away and also be testing on different monitors, because you can see depending on what size I am, it kind of changes the order of which your photos come. Okay. Personal work. This work should be a bridge to future work that you want to create. That's what your personal work should be, a bridge to future work. This is too good to be not in your main portfolio. But also, why is she off? Like, she's not composed on the thirds. She's not composed on, like, she's right on that edge, which means that she's going to bump the gutter. So I'm trying to figure out why you didn't move her over like another step to her left, camera right. So composite, like, such a great idea, but she needs like, you cut the frame in half. You cut the frame in half and then look at how close she is to the gutter. Why is she not right here? Why is she not right here? Like, that's the exact place that she needs to be standing, and you're composing on the thirds, which I talk about not doing literally every week. So please lock this in, because now where does this go in a magazine? Because it can't go on 2 pages. So that's what you got to lock in. Guys, that is a review for Mats Carlson. Very good work, Mats. Very good work. This is another very close. I feel like your spacing here is affecting this, because you can see how that's not lining up with the edge, and then the spacing between your pictures feels too claustrophobic. It feels too tight. So consider making the spacing between your pictures greater, and the spacing here between the, like, on this side, matching what that spacing is. Consider doing that, because when you do that, then where this falls, you can be a little bit more lenient. If this matches that. I hope that helps. That's Mats Carlson. All right. This is exhausting looking through websites, I got to tell you. Exhausting. Takes a lot, like, because it's like over and over and over and over and over and over. Shad. This I saw yesterday. So is your site white or is it black? Is your site white or is it black? Because right now it's trying to be both white and black. This header needs to be white, or this background needs to be black, because this break from black to white is jarring. It's jarring. And then also how the menu disappears, but, like, I need the menu. Like, what if I need the menu to, like, so either make it a sticky menu. Like, again, it's hard because you're making your menu disappear when I scroll, but then when I stop, it doesn't come back. Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay, I see that like it disappears when I scroll, but when I stop, it doesn't come back. So that's a bug. So which means if I want to get to the contact page, I actually have to go to the very top of the page. Or once I start scrolling up, then it comes back. Okay. For me, it bothers me. And what bothers me the most is the fact that it's dark and the background's white. Like, just make it match, change this all to black, and then make it white. And then at least it matches the rest of your site, and your header and this feels like one site. This doesn't feel like a block. Right now, this feels like a block. If you look at this feels like a whole site, even if this is a block. Because you can see here in my portfolio, because it's the same color, even if it is a block, it feels like it's part of the site, right? So that we have to fix. The body of work, very happy with you being completely focused on dogs and dog photography. What is missing is dogs in the studio. Okay, dogs, and I want you to see the difference between this collection that you're showing and my friend Kevin Sarensom from Off Leash Studio. Like, the difference between what this guy and the way that he is marketing himself and showing himself as a photographer, I want you to see what his photography looks like. Like, this only in the studio, and look at the poses that he gets from these dogs. Look at the facial expressions, and also because they're on a plain background, this looks expensive. This looks expensive because it is. He has he charges so much per session because he gets dogs to do this. Now imagine the dog in the park. Well, now you can see the difference here is like, yeah, I shot that with my iPhone because my dog is cute. So what you're now competing with when you only show this is you're competing with other people who have dogs and good cameras. Okay? Because where you're putting your dogs, like, here's how to elevate what you're doing. Shad, and it's the first time I've seen your work. You've been in my accelerator for 5 weeks. How you elevate your work is by bringing a background outside. Get a canvas background outside and let the dog sit outside and at least eliminate the fence, the grass, like make it not look like how people see their dogs like this every fucking day. Yes or yes? People see their dogs like this every day. Right? So why would they pay for it? How do they never see their dogs? They never see their dogs like this. Never. Yes or yes? Which is why this guy's business model is crushing, because he could shoot this picture outside, but shooting it in studio under light elevates it, and it elevates it to the level that it could be in a magazine and does not look like it could be shot with an iPhone. So, Shad, how you take what you're doing here to the next level is by create work that your customers can't make on their own. I can make this photo with my camera in that setting. But if you now bring in lights, bring in a background, bring in props, bring in ways that you're holding the dog's attention like this guy is doing, now you're making $250,000 a year. And the difference is if you're only doing this, you are now when you tell someone it costs $500 for you to shoot their dog, he'll be just like, dude, all the guy did was just walk outside and put him in and took a picture. I could have did that with my phone. Like, there's nothing elevated about it. If you want to truly elevate this, where you have like bookings 3 months in advance, the way that Off Leash Studio does, you have to give your client something that they cannot possibly in a million years
do on their own, which means the photography has to be harder. So, Shad, this is level 1. Level 1 is shooting beautiful pictures of dogs in a beautiful outdoor setting. Level 1. If you're not mixing it with dogs in studio under light, you will only ever be working for dog lovers, and your budget and how much you're gonna get paid is never gonna exceed a couple of $100, which means you're gonna have to do volume. So where this guy and his shoots are like $2,000, well, the difference is just background light in an indoor quiet space to shoot. So the difference and how far you could go with this, you're niched, you have a whole dog business alongside it. Elevate it and learn how to shoot dogs inside on a background with light. It'll change your reality. I promise you. That is Mr. Shadwick, going by the dog you mentor. Shad, trust me, it's the best advice that you've heard all year. It's now you have to activate it. This is Ramon Trotman. Ramon. So I'm wondering where this picture is. Shall I reload this? There we go. So what's happening here with the loading? We'll try this again. There's a third loading, and then again it quits. So this isn't me, I promise you. I have the best internet available. I'm gonna try to load this site again. Ramon Trotman. Okay, so we have loaded it a couple times. First thing off the top is font choice, and the way this is not a great font, because for me it's how can I enlarge this? It's not really letting me. Why am I not going plus 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 plus? Let's see if it lets me do this. Yeah. So yeah, for some reason I can't enlarge your site. I can't do this. Okay, here we go. Now it's letting me do it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to reload this one more time, Ramon, because I'm having a little bit of a hard time with this. 1, 2. Okay. So I think that there is a image size issue. There is something that is making it so your images are not loading. Okay, you can see that your site is not loading. I assure you, I have like 500 megabits up and down. I'm going to close this again. Your site should never be this hard for people to look at. And I know that there were more images, but those images aren't loading. So, I'm going to say what I can say. Strong first image, like strong above the fold. The font here is odd, and a little bit too big. I would move that to be here. About and contact, I would separate, and then blog, and social icons. The font's a bit big. The format of the image it's like too narrow and too long. Like I want to see like the actual format, like a 2x3 format. So like this is like a 22x9 kind of a thing, which is super odd. And then you're speaking about yourself in the third person. Ramon Trotman is a portrait photographer based in New Jersey. Like, did you write this? Probably. So why are you talking about yourself like it's not you who's writing this? How about this? Hey, I'm Ramon. I'm a portrait photographer based in New Jersey. Known for, and like, so don't, unless you have a writer write your bio like I did, and then I credit at the end, it says written by Tim Foran. Like unless a writer writes your bio or an article is done about you and you capture that and use that, you can't write about yourself in the third. Steve Carty is a photographer. It's like, no, bro, it's me. I'm telling you. So you understand how strange it's like, I don't know, Carty doesn't like that. It's like, what if I spoke about myself in the third person? Like when I'm reviewing your photos, I don't know, Carty doesn't like that. Like, no, dude, that's not how I talk. And that's not how people talk. It's off. So when you write that way, it's also off. So don't write about yourself in the third person. Write about yourself in the first person. Okay? Not like you're writing an article on yourself. It's very, just don't do that. And then the blog is, I'm not sure the format of this blog, the way that the thumbnails are reading and you're cutting heads off in the thumbnails and the formatting of the like if you are going to do this, like make it real and care about it, because again, it's like it's chopped. And also like no views, no comments, no view, one view, no comment, no views, no comments, like why would you show no views, no comments? Why would you show that metric if it's so bad? Don't show that metric on your blog. So yeah, and again, you can see that all of these blog posts aren't really generating views. So what are you doing to generate views to your blog posts? If you're doing them so often and no one's seeing them. So that is Ramon Trotman. I think that you're still kind of holding on to some sort of it feels like, I don't know what builder that you're using. It feels like Squarespace. It feels like, it feels clunky to me. But anyways, for me, like Ramon, front page is close now that these photos are loading. I think your photos are too big. And I think that there's some overly retouched pictures. And also, I don't need this text, especially with this. There's too much space in between the lines. Like, I know what I'm looking at. You don't need to say contemporary portrait, joyful booty portrait. Like, this stuff is not necessary. Like, and you're using, this is like your alt text. This alt text is not supposed to be seen. It's supposed to be shown to blind people who can't see or read the internet. So, or this should be, this is Claire. I shot this for the jewelry company. You know what I mean? But again, what we're doing is what we're trying to do is use intelligent imitation. When I click my pictures, where does it say this is a luxurious picture of the guy? Like, it doesn't. It's just here. So I understand if you're using alt text for SEO, but no one should ever see it. Okay? Intelligent imitation. I feel like if every one of these clicks has that, then no. Please no. Please get rid of all of that. Yeah, I feel like this is a bit clunky, Ramon. I need another swing at the bat and a complete, I would say, a complete redo of this. That's Ramon Trotman. All right, this is Marcus Mack. Marcus, thanks for submitting. So your name needs to be bigger. I did remember mentioning this last time. You see here how small your name looks? Your name needs to be bigger. I'll say it again. Your name needs to be bigger. I'll say it one more time. Your name needs to be bigger. Also, vertical, 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 vertical. There's no horizontal pictures above the fold. And in fact, there's only 2 vertical pictures, but then you have them stacked on top of each other. Like, move them so they're not right next to each other. They're probably like this, is I'm imagining how you kind of see your site when you're making it at home. But understand that sometimes we look at them on bigger monitors and they look larger. So you need to shoot more horizontals, and your horizontals can't be center focused like this one. This is not,
you're cutting the shoes. There's not like a reflector or any extra light on here, and it's a little bit of a distracting background, and she doesn't look like she's actually ready for the moment. So for me, like, these kinds of images you really have to nail, not only for your client but for yourself. More horizontals, my guy. More horizontals. You need more practice shooting them. Like, it's clear you need more practice shooting them because you don't shoot horizontal ever. So it's like you're the exact opposite. You only shoot vertical. Other photographers, they only shoot horizontal. So you need to learn how to shoot a double page spread, and you need to be submitting and doing it often. This is a good swing, Marcus, for your site, but I still feel like you need to shoot more. You need to shoot more, so you have more pictures to essentially make up your portfolio. I still feel like you need more location work, because when I put you on location, like, you're not executing the light in a way that makes the location look as good as it could. So that comes from reps, and you're not doing enough reps on location. This one is way better executed, and she looks way better. Like, in fact, she looks so much better here light wise, and the fact that she's got even light on her face. When you look at the other picture and what cross light, now you're lighting her from the side. Look at how not flattering cross light is on her skin. So in this situation, I would never, ever like light this girl from the side, because she's got bad skin. She's got troubled skin. So you can see that troubled skin looks a lot better when you light it from the front. So, yeah, Marcus, this is close, but you still have to do work on here. And the most work that you have to do is on the work. And also your verticals, like even your vertical sizing, and this proportion versus this proportion versus this proportion, like you can see that's why they're not lining up, because all your sizes are slightly different. It's like, you see how this image lines up and then this image lines up, but then they no longer line up, and then they no longer line up. It's because you're being all over with your sizes. And the same with this one and this one. So be hyper disciplined, my guy. You got to be hyper disciplined, guys. That is Marcus Mack. Marcus, thanks for submitting your website. Let me quickly look at your about page. Good picture. Good picture. The text could push over a little. The text block could push over a little. But this is a strong image. This is good. And contacts. Send an email. It's got to sound better than that, bro. Why would I just send an email? Why would I do that? You gotta make me want to reach out to you, and send an email is not that. And I like seeing this with you working. Book a free strategy session. But yeah, I would put this above, and then where the book a free strategy session is, it's a little bit too central. Yeah, Marcus, you're close, but we still got to do a bit of a workshop so we can kind of get you into that last little bit of oomph. Not quite there yet, but close. But the thing that's most important for you, my guy, is that you make your logo bigger and you start shooting more. You need to shoot more. It's so necessary. You need to shoot more. All right, we are getting into I'd like to say that we are getting into the last few, but we got like 6, 7, 8 left. That was Marcus Mack. All right, this is Frank Tom. Frank, one of the closer photographers, as far as like, I look at this site a lot. Here's what I'm gonna ask you to do. I'm gonna ask you to take off photography. I've never caught it before. And I'm just gonna ask you to have this like this. Frank Tom. That's it. That's it. Just Frank Tom. Like, and then also look at how once the photography isn't there, how you can, it just gives you a little bit more control spatially here. You know what I mean? Hey, Marion, thanks for subscribing. It gives you a little bit more space spatially if this isn't stacked. So I'm going to ask you to just do Frank Tom, and then you see how this is dominant, and then that, and then this is light. You can then do Frank Tom and have one like light and one bold. The spacing in this logo between your two lines is too high. It needs to be tighter. But again, we're taking this away. It's just going to say Frank Tom. And these boxes, I'm going to say we don't need boxes around your icons. It's just the icons are fine. Like, you don't need the boxes and the icons. So this icon style, I would change that and just be a little bit more. And again, I'm not trying to make you copy me. I'm just saying it just looks slicker if it's not that big and bulky in 2025. The collection of work I love. Down here is not working. I feel like Frank at Frank Tom, yes. This, yes. These social icons, I would put them in the corner, and I would just do like block, 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 block. Like, that's how I would prefer to see it. Just this like up. Like, I kind of, because these fonts are the same, it's kind of like I see it like that rather than those three and then that centered. They just need to be all on the same line. And if you look at this, this is, if you look at this, this is stacked, centered, which is again what we don't do. So I just want to correct that. Other than that, Frank, this is really strong. I've seen your About page before. Super strong. Contact page. I wouldn't mind a photo here. I wouldn't mind a photo and some like text over photo. Wouldn't mind seeing you here. And just push people below. And also strategy session. Strategy session. You want to get these people on Zoom. So that more so than an email. Rather than an email, I want you to be trying to focus on getting people on in a Zoom call, because remember, Zoom is how we close. Frank, this is a good swing. This is very, very close. I show this site very often as a reference for people who are in my accelerator program. Frank, this is close. Very, very, very close. There's just some sequencing things that I'm going to help you with. There's too many horizontals like together. You got to like really mix in like, and again, it's really hard to do grids, but I'm going to help you with the sequencing next time I talk to you. Oh, my God, this is exhausting. I'm going to have to set a limit to how many photo websites I look at in one day now. Wow. All right. Our next shooter, his name is Sean Thomas. Sean, this, I asked you for some resequencing, which you have done, which I appreciate. The resequencing makes a very, very, very big difference with your work. So the resequencing is good. There's still some ones down here. Like, this is almost too good to be so far down, being the last picture, but you are ending strong and you're starting and ending on that blue whip. Newsletter about, let's check your about section. I like this. You are cropping this picture quite a bit. I feel like there's just different ways that you could crop this, but your text and layout here is okay. Contact page. I think, I don't know, like I see it, but I don't know if you need to have this animation. I don't hate it. It definitely is like an element, a kick. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's bold. We are losing our text here just a little bit, but overall, Sean, this is a good swing. Good swing. And I like you're doing small tweaky updates here and there. I appreciate that. That's Sean Thomas. And we are down to our last 5 sites. This is calligraphy. Calligraphy. All right, my guy, this is starting to feel like something. You've changed your font. Yeah, for me, I just want to see more. This should be all work, copyright, calligraphy, and then the year, and then made with Pixpa can be over here. This shouldn't stack. I feel like you're losing a little bit of space. Like there's a lot of space between here that you could be utilizing. I want this distance to match this distance. That means all your images could be bigger, and that means all your images could actually end up, like if I just do a little mock-up, I would make your site a little bit more like that, and then this would push a little bit higher up to the fold, and then your calligraphy would exist up here. You know? So your logo is here, your headings are here, and like the spacing and everything fits. Right now, I feel like there's too much. There's too much room. And I don't know, the old English kind of style with the font is not matching the type of work that I'm looking at. So for you, I'm going to ask you to look at Kareem Black and think of Kareem Black, who's using notice his font. He's not going that far. But this is a legit big time New York photographer. So I just want you to keep pushing and find like a pony, find the inspiration. And you can see when I say your work I'm missing the location work. I want you to look at how location driven this guy's work is, and how and why it hits so hard. Like it's so location driven. So I feel like you need to add some of that to your work in order to make your shit feel even more ballsy. Like I'm feeling like the overall collection is feeling flat because you don't do this enough. And because you don't do this enough, you're not great at it yet because you don't shoot it enough. So because of that, it's like you just default to shooting in studio, which is easier. You know what you're going to get. But for me, it's like, it's the location stuff that's going to make you famous. And when you're shooting in the studio, I know you're working on a brand identity, but you have to have a couple more tricks that you're doing inside rather than just this straight gray background. All right, this is Mr. Calligraphy. About section. Yeah, I feel like better. Nice and bold. Yeah, I just want to change the font site-wide. And I love this. Wish you had your camera. I love this. But yeah, I just want to change your font site-wide. All right, that is Mr. Calligraphy. All right, and I think just go by calligraphy. You don't have to keep photographer. But yeah, the font is wrong. The font is not quite right yet. That is calligraphy. This is Joseph Baldwin. We are into my cartel members. These guys are the people who helped me make the Carty method so smooth. This is Joseph Baldwin. You've updated your header, which is working. I'm wondering if we should do oh, you do have a little bit of a rollover. Sick. Okay, that's good. First love, skateboarding. Okay, you're sequencing. These two pictures shouldn't be together. We need to kind of break up the whites and the darks. I have to try to see this how you guys see it. And again, my suggestion is everybody needs a 4K monitor because art directors are looking at your stuff on a 4K monitor. You see how these are on top of each other? You need to break that with a lighter picture so we actually see where one photo ends and the next one begins. But I just want to see more, Joseph. I know you've gone through a move and a whole bunch of stuff, but it's now I'm wanting like a whole wave of new work from you. I just created a whole new wave of work over the last weekend, and yesterday I went and I did some street portraits, connected with a couple of cool people. That's how you do it. That's how you get new faces in your book. It's super necessary. Joseph, this is a good swing. I use your website often to show like how to do a site. I like this, Jay. Maybe a rollover on this. Social media icons can go towards the bottom. Some testimonials. I like how you're doing these testimonials in a slider, but your text has to be left justified. Your text is centered. And again, I need you to see how strange this text looks. So this needs to be left justified. If you get nothing else from today, remember, text justifies. We are trying to make a box, and the box looks like the line can go to any length on this side, but on this side, we have to give people an anchor. We do not, like, in fact, I'm just going to make centering text. I'm just banning centering text for everybody. Stop centering your text because it just looks wrong. Okay. Like, if you don't know when you should use this feature to center text, don't ever use it because a majority of the instances it's wrong. So, yes, Steven, how can I help you, my guy? Use your phones for the photos. Okay, is it acceptable to use your phones for the photos of yourself on the About page? I would say yes, if you're able to make it look like it's not a picture that was shot with a phone. If you can make it not look like it was shot with a phone, then yeah, if you want to hold your pro camera and shoot your About Me page with a phone, yes, if you can make it not look like it was shot with a phone. And you're a photographer, so you should be able to do that. All right. Back to JB. Contact page. Yes. Yes. I love the full screen. That works for me. And I like this going on, like being a little bit under. Not sure about your font here, JB. I feel like your font is wrong as well. But everything else about your site, we're almost there. It's just this like newspaper kind of like looking. Like, it's not, that works so much better with like print, but it doesn't work so well with web. So again, for you, I would change your font. We can talk about what font that should be. All right, that is JB, Joseph Baldwin. And again, just if you look at my font, this is like a modern, easy font, the kind of fonts that you see on your iPhone, like the fonts that you see when you're texting. Like that is like, that's what I'm trying to get people to lean towards, where this is like an old English font that you would see in like a book from the 1600s. Okay, so using, and then this is a font that you would see in newspaper in the 60s and in the 70s. So because of that, like, and then this font also doesn't work very well when you use it as all caps. So it's like knowing what type of font to use. Like this, perfect font. Because it's not about the font, it's just about the nowness of it. Do you know what I mean? And the place that you're actually using it, like that, it's Hard. Font choice is really hard. All right. Calligraphy. Thank you for submitting, my guy. That was a good swing. I mean, that was Joseph Baldwin, JB, my guy. Thank you for submitting. I appreciate you. Yours is also very close. I'm going to call this the third one that needs like the least amount of tweaks. You just need to make more work. This is Garan Rath. Garan, composite photographer for performance brands. I feel like how it was before, you're not just a composite photographer. You're so much, and again, this limits you. Composite, and you don't just shoot composites. You do straight photography. So how you had it before with just Garan Rath, I feel like was better than now. So this I would change back to how it was. And then like, I don't know if I need this anywhere beyond when I go to your about page. So that's what we would see here. You've changed this a bit. So your picture here is now not quite as dominating. Before you had all of this above the fold like this, and then you would scroll to see your awards. Now this picture looks like it's like 300 pics wide. It's not big enough. And even if I'm now looking at it on a smaller monitor, it's still, and yeah, you can see how the proportions change on this photo until it flips that way. Okay. So yeah, I would prefer to see this closer to the way that it was before. Yeah, let me go to, sorry, let's get back here. There's no way that's the case. So, yes, and then your contact, I would love a photo here. Like it for me, the layout is screaming for a photo of you here doing work, you setting up. So for me, Garan Rath, don't say you're a composite photographer for performance brands. Just let someone else like see, because what if they're not needing a composite photographer, but they want a product photographer? Like, not all of your work are composites. Like, when I look at this work, that's not composite work. So what if I want that work? Well, I'm going to be turned off by just seeing your heading. So again, just be Garan Rath. Just be Garan Rath. Like, and again, I can't stress that enough for you to not, like, again, not a composite, just very classic and traditional and elegant, well shot product photography. So yeah, I'm strong on going back to just Garan Rath. Let people see the work and let people imagine their particular client, their particular product being photographed by you, you know? And when they get into the about you, then let them learn that you do composites and do all of that stuff, because there's nothing more important up here than your name. And I feel like your name gets lost in that language. And what if I don't consider myself a performance brand? Does that mean I shouldn't hire you? Yes, this is Mr. Rath. I like the collection that you have. I'm not sure. I want the site to start back here where it was, without the text and without the you telling me so much what it is that you do. I can see it right here. So that's my 2 cents for you, Dree. Thanks for submitting. Garan Rath. All right. It's hard because some sites, like, again, your site's never perfect, but once, like, you can also take it too far. You can also do too much or do too little. Nick, Johnson. I would love a vertical above the fold, or two. We are coming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 verticals in a row before some of these horizontals come in. Now, the way that you have your horizontals coming in, they're coming in quite big. So perhaps that's the reason. But I'm seeing lots of new work on this site, Nick. I'm seeing lots of new work. There's some stuff I would not have on there. These two horizontals, again, that's like sort of like breaks up. Like when you're looking here, 4 verticals, I would just, sometimes do 1 horizontal, 1 vertical, or 2 horizontal. Or yeah, anyways, it's hard with the sequencing. It's very hard, but I'm going to try to help. Yeah, I think you need to work in your horizontals more strategically. And I also know that they change depending on like how wide I'm looking at your site. So if we assume that I'm looking at it full width, then you're giving me 4 across, sometimes 3. Nick, I like this. This is really close. Really, really, really close. You got lots of new work here. I love how your menu fades and comes back. About section. This like half opacity picture behind, and then you like, and also you're mixing fonts. This is a different font from this. So you have 2 headlines with different fonts. And then the fonts down here, I wonder if that's the same fonts that are down here. And then you have your testimonials from Senja. You can see they're scrolling somehow in this space that you're putting them there is giving you like this extra double scroll bar here. So that I would try to figure out how to fix that. And I like you have 2 different font sizes down here and here. I would consider having them 1 font size. You only have 2 social icons. I would consider an icon for Substack, Behance. But yeah, this, you need to rejig this entire page, Nick. It's kind of urgent. And then your contact booking page, this is also trying to be a magazine header, and then this, and like it's also trying to be too many different things. I don't mind this part of it, but this part of it, like I'm not liking that. So yeah, and again, it's just your different, like your header fonts. This is, I don't like that font versus what this regular, like this Arial or that, like this works way better. Why not use that font and carry that here and carry that here and carry that also here? You see, you have this font here and this font here, but you keep mixing in this other one. So for me, that's not working. You got to fix that. That is Nick Johnson. We are getting into our last website. This is Liza Hyder. I have looked at 24 of them. This is Liza Hyder. Liza, I like this. This is an interesting approach, the way that this works. Like, you have your name, your name's dominant, and then photographer in Seattle, Washington is incorporated, but it's understated. And it works for me the way that you have this. It works. The font is interesting. Like it just works. Your other fonts, I feel like I would like this font because this is now back to like a typewriter kind of style font. And then it's different than this font and this font and this font and this font, which are all, that's different than that, which is that and that. So you're going font crazy on this page and in your like in your pricing cards that have no pricing, because we're not supposed to show our pricing, you're also centering text, which this is supposed to be justified. So again, so there's some stuff here with text wise. Up here, you're also centering this instead of justifying. Yeah, and some of the text is not quite right. The circles on top of your font, on top of your icons, again, I'm not sure if you need those as well. Your book, a Zoom, or a phone call is too low and too small and too hard to see. So this, for me, like, this is a really important call to action, but this call to action is lost in this page. It's completely lost in this page. I don't think that you need this here. Like, your hedge, like, I mean, if it's converting for you, okay, but again, I'd really like to see it laid out differently. Your about section, not sure if this picture works now. Like, it worked last year, but now where we're trying to get you and take you, I need to see you not as like the outdoor adventurer. I need to see you as the person who makes this photo, Liza. Like, this photo, which is so high-end fashion photography, like, this is too, like, it's just not the right idea. No camera, no model, no subject, no gear, no, like, I want to see you working. This is what will convince me. Show me that you're working. And again, this is just too much of you as the road tripper, like you as the girl who's traveling around the country camping. I don't want to see you as the camper. I want to see you as the photographer. And although you're wearing my creative hoodie, it's not enough to take you over the edge. And then also, you're also trying to squeeze in, also join my newsletter. So I feel like that, like, are you trying to get people to learn about you here? Or are you trying to get them to join your newsletter? Like, you need to know what this page is for. The layout down here, the centering of the text, and then the centering of the text here. And these, like, this whole page needs a rethink and a redesign. It's not working for me at all right now. And then your location, I would again love to see a photo of your studio, the map, and then information like this. Show me it on a map. Show me it in real life. You know what I mean? So, and again, the left justify. I want you guys to all go through your website right now and remove all of the text that is, move all the text that's justified centered. Like, all of these lines, like, move and justify everything left. Just do that right now. All right, guys, as mentioned, I did gift some subs, some memberships today. David Hunt, you got gifted. Darrow Travels, you got gifted. Andy, you got gifted. Oh no, that's Doyle. Doyle gifted sub. How did I miss that? Doyle gifted 5. Look at you, Doyle. Thanks, brother. I missed that, bro. I'm so sorry. Doyle dropped 5. So Doyle gifted a bunch of people. David, Darrow, Andy, Robert Myrick, and Shida. You all got gifted by Doyle Daniels. I gifted a few as well earlier. But yeah, forget about me. It's all about Doyle. Thanks, Doyle. Appreciate that. I gifted 5. And Gerard became a member. Guys, we looked at a lot of sites today, and there is an industry standard. And just so you know, I'm not a crazy person. Let's look at Jeff Lipsky. There is an industry standard. Look at Jeff Lipsky. Look at the way he has handwritten menu items. Look at his, it's not Jeff Lipsky photography. It's not Jeff Lipsky photographer. It's not Jeff Lipsky editorial celebrity LA style. Like, he doesn't need to attach anything. It doesn't even say photographer. It just says Jeff Lipsky. Okay. Which is, again, why my site just says Carty. It doesn't say Steve Carty photographer. It doesn't say photographer. It just says Carty, because like, I'm a photographer. So there's a reason that I say such things. And when the work, look how there's no text. There's no like, hey, I'm Jeff. I'm an LA style blah, blah, blah photographer who shoots blah, blah, blah. It's like, there's none of that. It's just work. It's just work. Right? And when you want to get into the words, we'll learn about Jeff. Jeff's going to tell you all about. And also, Jeff's publicist wrote this. Okay. You can view his client list, which is massive. And when it's about the contact, little simple icon. This is him in the studio. This is his rep. And this is syndication. So very, very clean design. And he just shows his Instagram. Like, that's the only social he shows is Instagram. But he doesn't show it as a single icon by itself in space. He makes it a menu item because it's only a single one. So there is a method to my madness when I'm talking about what your photography website should look like. And look at the drop down. Like when I click here and how this drops down to celebrity women, celebrity men. And again, look at the mix of horizontal and vertical. Like there's a method to my madness. Let me show you Tom Medvich, this insane product photographer. Tom Medvich photography? Tom Medvich photographer? Hi, I'm Tom Medvich. I am a product photographer from bumfuck. No, nothing. Just work. Just work. And when you want to read words, when you want to learn more about Tom Medvich, you click contact. And it just shows you, hey, I'm based in Nashville. Like, this is so minimal, but you can see he has his overview, but he also has work 1 and work 2. And you can see how, like, when someone is making work at this level, you don't need to say much about, you don't have to speak. The work speaks. So that's what I'm trying to convince all of you. The biggest shooters in the world do not just need to say, I am a this type and a this type and a this type of a photographer here above the fold. Once you have someone on your site, they should see clearly what it is that you do and who you are. All right, guys, let's get into our next steps. I'm not going to do website winner of the week or anything like that. There's too many sites and I don't know them the same way, and it's not quite as easy for photos. So we're not doing any awards. This is just public service to really help my Portfolio Lab members get their work to the next level. But you do need to know that there is an assignment that we are doing on Thursday. I'm looking at your Converse images. Next week, I'm looking at strategic imperfection images, which is week 30. Next week is week 29. For week 30, I'm looking at strategic imperfection images. The whole goal with strategic imperfection, create an image that highlights how perfection is an illusion. So use authenticity, oddity, humor, or deliberate flaws to make viewers pause and connect with your image. Stop the scroll with your idea, not just technical perfection. So for week 30, we're doing strategic imperfection. And for week 31, which is going to be due the 7th of August, we're going to be breaking barriers. I want you to push your boundaries and photograph something outside your comfort zone. I'm not asking you to change niches. I'm just asking you to shoot something that you haven't shot within your niche. Do something you have. If you shoot natural light only, shoot artificial light. If you shoot artificial light only, shoot natural light. I want you to break through your mental blocks, your technical limitations, and your style boundaries to unlock a new thing. Unlock a new skill, a new technique, or a creative approach. So week 31, which is the 7th of August, we are working on breaking barriers. So I just strategic imperfection, breaking barriers, and this Converse assignment, that is like what we're doing for the next like several weeks. But now you have those assignments in your head. You have 2 weeks to do our Thursday assignments. On Thursday, I'll deep dive a little bit more into strategic imperfection, so you have it locked in, although I did announce this last week. Yeah, guys, that is today's show. I hope you found today valuable. I have meetings and such. I got to meet with Allison for a little bit of one-on-one coaching. We're doing that. Okay, we got some time. So yes, week 30. We're not in week 30 yet. We're in week 29, but next week is Breaking Barriers week. I want you to be trying stuff and doing things that you've never done or tried before. This is Portfolio Lab. If you want to join, you have to go to thecartymethod.com/portfolio lab to sign up. I do 2 photo review shows a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and every other month I look at websites. Every other month I look at websites and really like dive in deep and help you get your packaging dialed. Making great work is one thing. Packaging that work so it's attractive to the right people, that is the other. I'm trying to help you on both. Guys, we reached 40,000 subscribers this week, which is crazy. 40,000 subscribers. I cannot believe we are at 40,000. Thank you, Victor. Wouldn't be a great time to buy my course, Brian? You can buy the Carte Method system at any time. It is set up for you to, and again, just go to thecartymethod.com. I explain it there so clearly. Know this, my accelerator starts three times per year. I open my accelerator in February, in June, and in late September. You want to get in on one of my accelerator rounds, but if you prefer to work at your own pace, then you can buy my system at any time and work through it at your own pace. My accelerator is intense and I'm on you so if you need like a coach on you, making you push, like helping propel you forward, then you need to be in my accelerator, because my accelerator is like me and my entire team and all the resources that I have in order to create a success for you in the shortest amount of time possible, like in 18 weeks. So my accelerator accelerates you. My system, you can take all year to go through that. You know what I mean? But again, you can buy my system with Portfolio Lab, or you can buy it with Portfolio Lab and Pro Lab. If you buy it with Portfolio Lab and Pro Lab, you get a little bit more of the intensity that you get in my accelerator. The thing is, my accelerator, hand-pick application process, my system, anybody can buy it and do it on their own pace. So those are the difference. Guys, what a long one today. We looked through 24 websites. I hope you found it helpful. I dedicate myself Tuesdays and Thursdays to you. I was doing quotes this morning and about to get into doing quotes this afternoon. I have so much shit to do. You have no idea, but we'll get there. Guys, thank you for watching. I've been Steve Carty, as I am every day. I hope this brought you value. Thanks for watching. Thursdays after the show at 2:30, we meet in Zoom for a secret workshop. That's worth joining alone, getting 4 times coaching with me every week.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring.
Did I forget to gift my membership?
Today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials.
I'm going to gift them
Curating
right
and sharing
now.
helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your
There
current
you
9 to
go.
5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.